With cell phone cameras in everyone's pockets, it seems like photography is faster and easier now than ever before.
But a St. Paul visual artist is reviving an old technology to take stunning images. In this week's Maury's Stories, Maury Glover shows us how this young woman creates modern masterpieces.
It looks good to me. I'm going to turn the strobe on.
At first glance, this may look like a typical photo shoot.
And then turn your face a little to the side, yes.
But the process being used is nearly as old as the art of photography itself.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, just right in the lens like that. I have always been really drawn to processes that are more time sensitive and also more tactile, like as far as like using your hands and that kind of thing.
As friend and frequent model Kiki Lang strikes a pose,
this is gonna look real cute.
Carla Rodriguez frames her subject.
Okay. Ready? One.
And in a flash,
good job. I surprised you.
Freezes a moment in time. Rodriguez specializes in tintype portraits, a technique that had its heyday in the Civil War. Instead of shooting on film, Rodriguez treats a sheet of aluminum with a chemical mixture to make it sensitive to light. She then puts the wet plate in her big red camera and gets one shot to take a picture.
Ready? 1, 2, and good job.
Then it's back to the darkroom and a bath in Developer.
We got a picture!
Before a final wash in a chemical fix,
dun, 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 dun,
where the image appears on the metal sheet as if by magic.
It's almost always like a dumbfounded reaction, or like oh my God, what is that? It looks great! Look at that! Like they've never seen photography in this way before, which I think is really, really honestly like an honor to be able to do that.
In her studio, Rodriguez takes portraits of individuals, couples, and families, and in the process allows the full spectrum of her customers to see themselves in a different light.
For a lot of people, it's kind of seeing themselves authentically. You can't hide a lot in tintype, especially because it sees a different spectrum of light than what we do with our naked eyes, and so it sometimes sees more than what we can see. And I think a lot of time when people see themselves that way, it's like kind of like this very raw, like vulnerable way of like looking at themselves.
Back in the mid-1800s and early 1900s, tintypes were a popular way to document everyone, from Civil War soldiers to Native Americans. But Rodriguez enjoys using the technology to capture modern subjects through an old-fashioned lens.
I like the idea of like bringing back the ritualisticness of like getting your portrait made and slowing that down and getting people to be more present in their bodies and also like seeing themselves in a different way, I think is like really important, and that's part of what this process brings, I think, to a lot of people.
She even brought her talents to 38th in Chicago, where she took portraits of people of color for free to give back to the community after the death of George Floyd.
I think also this is a really historic moment that we're in right now, and this process was used to document the Civil War, which was another like racially motivated conflict, and I feel like, you know, it's kind of ironic that we're 200 years later and I'm able to use the same process to document some of the same issues.
Even this intrepid reporter couldn't resist the chance to get ready for my close-up, and the results look as antique as the technique.
And I want you to really bring your shoulder blades together. There you go. Thank you.
I think whenever I get a tintype photo of myself taken, I'm like my most beautiful. The strobe creates this really beautiful like portal, and you can see really, really far into somebody. Yeah, they're really beautiful.
Ready, and good job.
In this age of digital photography, when cell phone selfies are a dime a dozen, Rodriguez says tintypes are enjoying a resurgence because people are looking for something more permanent to hang on the wall or hand down to their kids. And what's better than an instant heirloom that will stand the test of time?
I like the head tilt.
Yeah, I like the head tilt too. It's cute. Because it's like, okay, I have thousands of pictures of myself and my family on my phone, but none of those pictures get to live in real life. None of these pictures get, people don't print their cell phone pictures anymore. People hardly ever pay photographers to take family portraits anymore, like even digitally. So it's like, the fact that you actually get a physical object right off the bat with this process, I think is really appealing to people, and then it's the only one. I think, so it just like makes photography special.
For Maury's Stories, Maury Glover, Fox 9 News.